morning, everybody. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in Frederick, Colorado. Today we're going to be going over a 2025 Winnebago Navion. This is the 24T. So it sleeps up to 2, has a Murphy bed, rear wheel drive, and it's on the Mercedes. And it's honestly priced at a spectacular price. So if you wanted to go ahead and click the link to go to our website, it will have that discounted price advertised. And if you guys are interested in this unit, you can feel free to give me a call. My information is right here. You can call me at 970-388-7937. But as always, let's go ahead and take a walk around the outside first, and then we'll end off on the inside. So let's go ahead and get on into it. All right. Starting up front with the rims and tires here, we have that nice little Winnebago emblem on our stainless steel rim, and these are the LT 215s 85R and then the R16s. As far as our full body paint, we have a nice little blue, gray, charcoal gray in here, so it gives a nice little warm look to it. On our big truck style mirrors, we do have our blinker there. And this is the low profile cab up front here, so we don't have the bunk over cab. That's actually going to be some storage. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little glimpse of it while we're outside, so then you can really paint the full picture of what it really looks like. We have a nice bigger, well, heavier duty entrance door here. And of course you have your deadbolt and your nice little lock. Our full awning up here, that Carefree awning with the LED strip, and then I do have our little outdoor docking light to kind of light up that campground at night as well. You have our dual pane windows. They are tinted, so that's going to help keep that heat out, and they do open wide, so they have nice 3 little clicks with that bug screen that comes down, or you have the blackout screen. I personally like it a little better than those typical, blinds, because they're not as noisy, but that's just my personal opinion. And then also, if you didn't want to have your awning out but you wanted to open that window and it's raining, you can kind of still have those windows nice and propped open without having to risk the chance of getting some rain on the inside. Right over here we just have some charging options. This is for our TV, so if you wanted to go ahead and plug in an exterior TV for some entertainment, and then the charging is right next to that. In our first bay compartment here, we have 2 little power disconnects. So I like how it's right next to the door as you're unloading your coach and you're kind of getting it ready for storage. It's kind of nice and up front for you, so you don't really forget to turn anything off to store it safely. Here's just our for our Dometic heater. So we have a 2500 BTU heater that is ducted. This is just that outlet outside. It does say hot, but honestly, it's a really good system, so you won't have to worry about losing much heat. It does keep most of the heat on the inside. So just a little tidbit for you there. We do have a little propane connector here, so if you wanted to go ahead and hook up a barbecue, you can use the propane that you already have on board. You don't have to bring an extra propane tank. Alrighty. Another awesome feature for this Navion, this floor plan specifically, the 24T or the 24R, are the 2 floor plans that have this big garage space here with some nice tie downs. As you have them, you can kind of see, unfamiliar to the EKKO here, they're on the sidewall instead of down below on the floor. So you can go ahead and tie down all your gear so it's not rolling around in the back here. You do have a nice little light which will be on either side, in addition to some charging outlets. And then as you can see, you have some other exhaustible to keep it nice and warm back here, so you don't have to worry about anything freezing. Alrighty, and then back here again, just another access point to that garage area, but this one is on a nice hinge, so if it is a little windier and you don't have to worry about that door closing in on you, you can go ahead and use this access point. We have our 30 amp shore power cord. This is kind of what it looks like as far as both points here, 30 amp, and it's nice and plugged in. I like this just because you can screw it in, so it kind of helps keep it nice and plugged in case someone trips over it. I don't know, it just kind of makes it a little nicer to prevent anything from breaking. All right, now I'll go ahead and close this. We get started at the top. We do have the AC unit up there. It is the upgraded one. I figured it's the high efficiency. So it's the 15,000 BTU Truma Comfort AC. So this one's gonna be a little quieter as well as a little bit more efficient. And then we have our backup camera here, which gives you a great angle, so it's kind of easy to go ahead and back into those tighter spaces. And then down below here, we just have our hitch, which is a 5,000 pound towing capacity. So if you had a smaller tow vehicle or you had a little trailer because you wanted to go ahead and put bikes or anything like that on there, you can go ahead and do that. And then we have a nice little plug-in here for a braking system too for a trailer or a smaller tow vehicle. Similar to the other side, you have another door here so you can kind of get into that garage area. And then directly above that garage door here, you have your Truma AquaGo for your hot water. We have the other exterior light on as well, just so you can kind of light up your water bay at night. I like how this one, similar to the Ekko, is a little higher as well. So typically any wet bays are going to be a little lower, so you'll have to kind of crouch down or get on your knees or anything like that. So I like how this is kind of nice and up front. Makes it a little bit more comfortable, especially to access this outdoor shower. And then you can go ahead and turn your water pump on from here. And then these are both the valves. So we got our black tank valve here to go ahead and dump, and then our gray waste right here. And then as well as the flush inlets and our freshwater fill. So we have 30 gallons of fresh water, 47 for our black, and then 46 for our gray. And then next to that, we have our 30 amp shore power cord. So the GLN here will light up to let you know that you do have a healthy charge and everything is connected on either end properly. A nice little hidden, more so because you can access it from the inside as well, storage area. So it's a little taller for those longer items or more personal items. And then of course this door is locked as well. Right over here is just going to be our propane tank. Nothing crazy there, but it is a total of 12 gallons. So you have plenty of propane. And then we have our generator. I do have that running right now just so I can keep it nice and cool inside. But this is the Flex Power 4000i generator, so it's the carb compliant generator. And then the exhaust for that generator is just right here. I like how it's not too low to the ground, so it kind of helps with that clearance. Alrighty, and then we'll just give you a nice beautiful shot of the front cap here again. It's the lower profile Mercedes. So this is on that Mercedes-Benz rear wheel drive Sprinter chassis. It's the 2-liter high output turbo diesel, 4-cylinder engine, 9-speed automatic transmission. And this also is nice because it has the adaptive ESP technology, which includes that active brake assist and the lane keeping assist as well. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get on the inside here. That slide is closed, so I'll give you a peek of what it looks like. I'm just gonna go in and turn on the lights so you get a little bit better of a view. And then I'm not sure as far as sound is working for you guys, but I do have the AC on high, so this is the loudest it gets. Turn those porch lights off. Make sure we get all the lights on that we need in here. Alrighty, perfect. So right now, this is how much room we have with the slide in. As you can see, you still have your theater seats here. You can go ahead and just fold these down. Another really cool feature to this floor plan, so if you are having a really long drive and you didn't reach your destination in time just because you're taking it slow, sightseeing and doing all the good things, just in case you needed to pull off into a Walmart or a sleeping area, this is a Murphy bed that actually can be sleepable while the slide is in. So that's kind of why Winnebago started doing that, just so had customers asking, hey, we would like a floor plan that does this, so they brought it to you guys. It just kind of makes it a little nicer to kind of make a little pit stop to take a little nap, because you don't have to fully get camp ready, open up the slide, and that kind of stuff. So it is a little tight to kind of show you guys with the right now, but just trust me, if you guys want some pictures or an extra video, I can definitely send it to you, kind of showing how much space you have with this Murphy bed down. But that's just one cool feature I did want to point out. But we're just going to go ahead and open up that slide. There we go. Oops, I forgot to do the brake here. Gotta turn this on. Make sure that brake is on, which it is. Perfect. Alrighty. All right. Alrighty, now it is fully open. Kind of put this back up for you. You have plenty of space inside of here as far as to get nice, comfy, and cozy. And then as you didn't notice earlier, this is where your boot dinette is. It's collapsible, so it's kind of nice how if you don't need this space right now, you can just fold it away to kind of make a little bit more space on the inside. So all you got to do is prop this up. Our two chairs are buckled in, so you don't have to worry about those flying around. And they are wood with a nice little cushion for you. You can go ahead and slide into place. But again, this coach is built for 2 people. So you have 2 seats in here for your boot dinette, 2 theater seats somewhere to lounge around. And then you have your TV propped up here. And then of course, 2 spots to kind of rest your head at night to close out camp. But one thing I really do like about this is it's not flimsy and it's easy to tuck away. You just lift this little latch under here, tuck it away easily. But when it is put away, you still have a nice little ledge here. So if you needed to set anything down as far as drinks or any other things like that, you're not completely out of anywhere to set your goodies if you needed. And then the chairs are pretty heavy duty as well, nice wood. And then you do still have the charging on either side of the booth. So if you are working on the go and you want to go ahead and set up the boot dinette, set up your laptop computer and kind of get some things done, you have the option of doing that as well. Alrighty, let's just go ahead and peek on back here. Start in the rear so I don't miss anything, get too ahead of myself here. So a lot of people are impressed with how wide the shower is and how it has like a little built-in seat, which I really like. If you guys aren't familiar with any Winnebago products, when you step into the shower, you don't feel like it's gonna buckle underneath you. They do a nice little solid foundation underneath there to kind of prevent that from happening, just to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And then if you happen to notice in the shower too, you have a nice little rod there that can be taken out. So if you wanted to hang up any wet clothes or bathing suits, swimsuits, anything like that, you can go ahead and just hang them in here to dry while you're driving down the road, or it's just kind of an extra spot to kind of hang any other clothes until you get to your destination to kind of, you know, get things all tucked away. The skylight is as well very wide and gives you a little bit more you know, comfortability inside of the coach for those taller folks. And then right over here, we just have nice little light switches. And this is a self-cleaning shower door. As you can see, it kind of takes a little bit of muscle to get these unlatched. So we have some heavy duty latches in here. We got 2 instead of 1, so you don't have to worry about hitting an awkward pothole and then your whole, you know, closet comes apart. So I like how we have the double latches here. This is kind of an awkward angle, but for our closet situation we have here, we have 2 little shelves back there for some nice shoes or totes or anything like that. And then that rail for here. And then across, again with the double latches, this side has an adjustable shelf as well as 2 drawers. So a huge closet space. And then right over here we just have our sink, black nice faucet, little bit of counter space here. We do have our charging and then another little light. As well as the toilets, you do have a nice little flush here, so it's just the foot to go ahead and flush it. And then you have your water heater and your pump switch in here too, just in case you forgot to turn that on. And then for the last one, to kind of wrap up our bathroom area, you have 2 adjustable shelves in here for your medicine cabinet per se. 2 little golden hooks to hang your towels, and then of course we have a nice little fantastic fan in here. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and exit. We have a little pocket door as you exit, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and open the pantry space we got going on here. So we have 2 big shelves that extend. Sorry, I should have opened this one first, but anyways, 2 shelves here, nice and carpeted. Again, switches, and then this is just a nice little thing for your temperature. It's a little sensor, so throughout the coach you'll see some of these just so we can kind of get the same consistent temperature throughout the whole coach. Here we have our Norcold fridge. You can go ahead and turn it on from here and set your temperature, as well as if you wanted to run off of propane or electric, and then if you wanted to go ahead and do a night mode to save energy. Very spacious, clean, plenty of shelves, and they are all adjustable. And then we'll just continue with this side, and then I'll finish up the kitchen. Right here is just all of our cords and stuff for our TV. So if you had any routers or any of that kind of stuff for satellite, you can go ahead and plug it in here. And then this is just our slide room controller here, and then our power disconnect, and then you have the nice Sony for your TV as well. This huge screen, sorry, let me go to the home screen first. I like when you first go on the home screen, it's going to go ahead and give you like a little announcement or for your information, FYI, up front as soon as you click it. So right now it's just letting me know that I do need a software update. This is kind of cool too, because it's you can download an app. So everything that you see on here is something that you can control from your phone anywhere in the US, so you don't have to be up front and around your coach for it to work. It's kind of nice to get those updates and those reminders for services, for little updates or anything like that, even if you aren't with your coach. So if it's in storage, it'll give you a little alert like, hey, I need some attention, my batteries are getting low, this happened, that happened, you know, all the different scenarios that you can kind of get. But that's it for that home screen. And then once we go into all of our apps, you can go ahead and click on the lights. One cool feature I really liked about this is because it's not just an on or off situation. You can go ahead right now, I have them set pretty much at all 80%. If you click on that front bed, you can adjust the brightness, which will also help you save power. So you can do that for each and every light. And then these are just kind of little lightings that you can click one and you can pick which ones you want to turn on. So it's kind of just like a little cheat sheet to turn on those lights that you use all the time, and you can do different saved memories for those. And then we just can go into our water systems, our tank pads, water pump, our tank capacities here, the awning, which you can also download a Carefree app to get more settings up in there as well. A pet minder, so that's really cool. You could set a high temperature and a low temperature, so it'll automatically alert you to let you know, because if you didn't start your generator to automatically start, then you can go ahead and just get a notification from your phone to let you know, hey, it's getting outside of that temperature range, would you like to start your generator? And then you can go ahead and start it from your phone, which is really nice. So if you are hiking and you're kind of worried about your pets and you're like, oh, I can only be gone for 2 hours, this will kind of help you, give you a longer range to let you know that your pets are safe. All right, the energy management, this is where you can go ahead and turn on your generator, check out the solar power, your inverter, everything that's going on with inside of the coach. And then if you just wanted a better breakdown, you just click on that and it will open everything up. This is where you go ahead and turn on or off that auto gen start. And then also you can set a parameter for those quiet hours. So if you're at a campground where it has to turn off at 9 p.m. and then it can turn back on at a certain time as well, you can go ahead and just set those times and it will automatically turn on and off for you, which is really cool as well. And climate control. So right now I have it set to 67, and then you can kind of set the fans up in here as well for the fan speed on and off. And then you have another slide out controller built in here as well, but it's kind of nice to always have that button to kind of, you know, have a little safety net just in case something's going on. And then you just have your little reminders here, settings, and then go ahead to set your display if you want like a dark mode or a light mode. And I like to how it will just turn off if you're not using it. So at night, if you don't like having little lights around, you don't have to worry about this being super bright and in front of your face the whole time. All right, we'll just continue on to the top. I know I already explained some of this dinette that is convertible, but we do have another storage area, our Insignia TV with the Bose sound bar. And then just one thing I didn't point out is just the storage that is on either side. Not significant, but every little space matters, especially when you're trying to carry everything and have it all nice and organized. And then this is just that big window I was explaining to you guys earlier. You do have two ways that you can lock it. So right now it's completely locked, so you're not losing any of that AC, any of that cool. But if you wanted to just keep it cracked because you didn't want to run your AC, but you still want it locked, you can go ahead and lock it where it's cracked. So you just have like the slightest bit of crack in there. If not, they prop all the way open. And again, there's 3 different parameters here for the clicks. The third one always, there we go. So 1, 2, and 3, kind of a high, medium, and low, and then you have to bring it all the way up and then let it down. I'm not gonna fight with it though right now, but to get it closed again. Alrighty, let's slide back over here so I can kind of show you everything in the kitchen. Of course, everyone loves a kitchen window, so we have one right here. It also gives you a little bit of a view to see that driver's side, which is kind of nice. We have a nice little metal basket here for any of the goodies. Some more storage, our Winnebago handy dandy notebook that will kind of get into all the nitty gritty details of this specific coach. So if you wanted to go and do a little bit more research or learn a little bit more about troubleshooting, these are where the manuals are located, so you can do that. These are all bubble wrapped up so they don't get scratched, but you do have nice little trays here. So if you wanted to kind of have a snack or have somewhere to set your laptop or anything while you're sitting down in the theater seats, you have 2 of these to be able to do that. Here is where our charging is. I like how it's nice and tucked away here. So you just have to pull it up. There we go. And then it will lock into place once you get it all the way up. But you have the USB as well as the regular USB. Right now we do have it winterized, so we don't have the filter in it, but you have your single circular bowl here, and your faucet is on a nice little extender here. Some extra counter space if needed. And then you do have storage on the side with another basket as well. And then directly below that, that's where your fuses and breakers are. We have our little pump here, so you can go ahead and turn that on. And then as we move over here, we have our high point microwave and convection oven. Of course, sticking with the standard on a Navion, you always get a propane burner and a true induction. So this is kind of nice if you are boondocking. You can go ahead and save all the electricity that you have, or if you don't want to run your generator, you can go ahead and just use that propane one. And then you just have 3 big drawers here. Our microwave stuff is in this drawer, and then that last drawer down there. All right, I did just want to show you really quick the theater seats. They have the little buttons on the inside. It's more of like a hop. You have to touch it. There we go. And once you touch the button, it'll fully recline. And then you can go ahead and then put it back down. Whoops. I'm going to admit though, it's not the easiest to find. This one isn't anyways. Anyways, but you do have 2 little cup holders here where you can turn on the light, as well as charging in here as well. And then if you wanted it to be a full couch, you can go ahead and just prop this up to do that. Alrighty. And then when you're ready for the bed, you can just go ahead and fold it down completely. Make sure you pop out the legs. Alrighty. And then we just push the button for our bed controller. Up above here we have some more storage as well as night lights. And then you have 2 windows. Nice little charging on either side as well as a nice little place to set your drinks or a water bottle. And then we'll go ahead and move up here again because this is our low profile, so we get storage instead of a bed. Most people that didn't need it to be a bunk over the cab used it for storage anyways. So I think this is really nice that it just closes everything off with the nice wooden cabinets, and when you open it up it doesn't have to, it's not just chaos or you have to use that curtain. Just gives it a little bit more of a sleek, clean look. Alrighty, and then we'll just go ahead and pop up here so we can go over some of the things Mercedes. I'll turn down this AC so it's blowing. Alright, but you just have your standard Mercedes steering wheel here. This side is going to control everything on your LED dash screen, and you can go ahead and flick through all the screens just using this little button here. You can also set your cruise control, and for the adaptive cruise control you can set how far or how close you would like to be before it starts to automatically brake for you. And then this side is just going to be for our dash radio screen. Again, the same thing where you can go ahead and just flick through all the screens. You can add in separate profiles and go ahead and use your own, like the built-in navigation, or if you wanted to Bluetooth connect here, you can go ahead and use your Apple if you'd like. Right in here, we'll just go over all the Mercedes apps, and that's how you can turn on the certain Mercedes features in here. So if you wanted to kind of make it like a high, medium, or low as far as distance and all that kind of stuff, you can kind of change that. Or if you want to turn off that lane keeping assist, you can go ahead and turn it off in there. And then there's just the other settings instead of going inside of here. Below, you can go ahead and access your backup camera. Click here for your telephone. So these are just kind of little quick links for you. Your volume down here, your AC and your heating, hazard lights, 2 cup holders, emergency brake, and then you do have the upgraded Primera seats here. So this is kind of just a softer leather, and it's not black seats, so it's going to help keep it cool. And then you do have more storage. If you're familiar with the Mercedes, then you know all about that as well, with some more charging, and then you have the wireless charging option in there as well. And then, of course, we have our camera for our backup camera here, so you can't really see behind you, so I love that they started doing that. And then if you did have something that you needed to see going back there, then you can go ahead and just flip that switch and it will show you everything behind you that's inside of the coach. But yeah, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Again, you can contact me with my information below, which is 970-388-7937. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.